This is a Sports Catastrophe production.
Hey there, Heather Holders, Jeff Cutter Diamond, welcome you to another Sports Catastrophe on this day. And on this day, December 15th, 1965, one of the most shocking moments in baseball history happened. No, it wasn't to a player, it was part of being the commissioner of baseball. And this guy is the commissioner of baseball. It's like, who the heck is that guy? Yep, that would be him, Spike Eckert. I'm thinking, who? He's the commissioner? Who the heck is that guy? Well, yep. Spike Eckert was named the commissioner of baseball. So, anyway, what do we know about Spike Eckert? Well, he was born in 1909 in Freeport, Illinois, to Frank and Harriet. He went to the U.S. Military Academy at West Point in July 1926, getting the nickname Spike while playing infield football, and graduated from West Point in 1930. He served in the military from 1930 to 1961, marrying Catherine and having two children, William Eckert Jr. and Catherine Jr. Upon retirement from the U.S. Air Force, he was a management consultant and served on the board of directors of several companies, then became the commissioner of baseball from 1965 to 1968. So he had a lot of things going on. So he was a second lieutenant in 1930, then a first lieutenant in 1935, captain in 1940, a major in 1947, a colonel in 1948, a brigadier general in 1952, a major general in 1951, and a lieutenant general in 1957. So he had the Legion of Merit, Distinguished Flying Cross, the Broad Star of the Air Medal. He was a bomber, command pilot, and technical observer. So baseball was like big to him in a sense. So anyway, there were 150 names on the original list of nominees for the commissionership after Fort Frick decided to retire. Of course, Fort Frick became kind of a prick in 1961 when he said that Roger Maris's 61 home runs has to have an asterisk next to it because of the fact that Maris would need 162 games to break the Babe Ruth's 60 home run mark in 1927 that in 154 games. Kind of was weird because Fort Frick was buddy-buddy with Babe Ruth, and I think it was just some kind of malice and all that shit. It didn't take till 1991 for the asterisk to be removed. The owners were not sure if they wanted the next commission to come from the ranks of the game. Well, the top candidate would be the president of the American League and the National League presidents, or elsewhere. They said that the new commissioner should have a strong business background to deal with the problems that were confronting the game at the time. So that was kind of weird and all that. So anyway, the American League president at the time, he wasn't the commissioner, was Joe Cronin, who was a very wise player for the Senators and Red Sox back in the day, in the 1930s and 40s. So Cronin was the AL president from 1959 to 1973, and practically, that's what it was. He was looking pretty good. In the National League, it would turn out to be Warren Giles between 1951 and 1969. So Warren Giles could have been it. But then, the only way that Spike Eckert was named commissioner, was a prospective candidate for the thing and all that, was after fellow officer Curtis LeMay gave MLB a recommendation for him. And somehow, in some way, he was actually named the fourth commissioner of Major League Baseball. It was like, what happened? And sports writers would actually write, oh my God, they elected the unknown soldier to be the commissioner of baseball because of the fact that he had not seen a baseball game in 10 years. It was like unbelievable. And it was unknown to the public. yeah, like, holy smokes, like, to replace, you had Commissioner Kennesaw Landis after the Black Sox scandal, and then was it Happy Chandler though, who was second, and then Fort Frick. Well, anyway, regardless of that, he incurred the public's ire by refusing to cancel games after RFK, Robert F. Kennedy, and Martin Luther King Jr. were assassinated. I mean, rightfully so. The NHL canceled games for the time being. The NBA stopped play. Football couldn't because, that was not around football time. But yeah, he refused to deal forcefully with substantive business issues. And basically, the team owners were like, why did we give this guy the commissionership? By 1968, the owners anticipated a player strike and did not think that Spike Eckert was going to handle the situation. So he was forced to resign even though he had 3 years left on his contract. Eckert would resign in December 1968, and Bowie Kuhn would become the interim commissioner. And the first major player strike was 1972, which actually wiped out almost a month's worth of games. The worst part about that 72 strike was that they did not reschedule all the games that had been lost. So thus, it actually screwed over the Boston Red Sox because they actually only lost the AL East by half a game over Detroit. But Detroit had 3 fewer games played. So yeah, Bowie Kuhn was the interim commissioner. In spite of his most publicized failures and shortcomings, Eckert actually developed more effective committee actions, streamlined business methods, and helped stabilize franchises with bigger stadiums and long-term leases. So that's what happened. It was like unbelievable. Yeah, it was Kennesaw Landis, then Happy Chandler, then Fort Frick, then Spike Eckert, then Bowie Kuhn, Peter Ueberroth, who would be much known for his love of helping the LA Olympics do well. 1984, Bart Giamatti, which only lasted 5 months before he died of a heart attack, just a week after expelling Pete Rose from baseball. Then it was Faye Vincent, and then Bud Selig, and since 2015, Rob Manfred. So yes, Eckert would die in 1971 and would actually be buried in Arlington National Cemetery because of his military actions. Imagine baseball going with an unknown for commissioner. At the time, yikes. I mean, like every other league, NBA, NFL, and NHL have a good acumen, but Spike Eckert, blah, the unknown soldier, truthfully. Anyhow, I'm Jeff, that I do.